people in two working households have a hard time. The world is so expensive right now.
It's a problem that not only continues to grow in Massachusetts, food insecurity rates are at the highest they've ever been, with officials saying Hampden County residents are affected the most.
Western Mass News reporter Madison Lazowski joins us live in Springfield after speaking with the director of a local food pantry. Now, Madison, what does she say the key problems are?
Yeah, Chris and Amanda, Nicole Lucier has been working with Open Pantry for nearly 30 years now. And now she tells me that she's only seen the demand grow since then, particularly in this last year. She boils that problem down to three specific costs. Those top three costs she hears from families utilizing the pantry are the following: grocery bills, the cost of housing, and the cost of electricity. With those three major costs consistently on the rise here in Massachusetts and across the country, Lucier is not only seeing this issue for those getting food stamps or receiving SNAP benefits, she's seeing households with multiple incomes still struggling to buy food each month, and the need is only growing. Take a look at this insane statistic. According to Mass General Brigham, in 2025, 54% of Hampden County residents are facing food insecurity, which is the highest percentage of any county in the entire state. Now, on top of that, the state average currently sits at 37%, a number that is up from 33% last year and is continuing to grow. But what Lucier has been seeing a lot more of recently, an increase of parents and kids in need of some school lunches and snacks.
We want to make sure these kids go to school with their nutritious lunch and that come home to a nice dinner. And then there's also the parents. They need to eat too.
That's right, but without an end of price increases in sight, the best that Lucier can do in the meantime is continue to stock those shelves. Now, coming up at 6, we have more shocking statistics to bring to you. We have more from Lucier, and we have more on how you can help food insecurity in Massachusetts at a time in need like this one. For now, reporting live in Springfield, Madison Lazowski, Western Mass News.